Good morning. I'm Ryan Baker. Ohio State, they improved to 8-1, a 45-0 shutout win over Purdue. The defense, absolutely brilliant. Not only do they get the shutout, they score their third touchdown of the season. The Silver Bullets haven't given up a touchdown since the fourth quarter of the Nebraska game. Jeremiah Smith holds all of the freshman receiving records now, 1 week after breaking Chris Carter's touchdown record. He breaks his receptions and yards records yesterday, too. There will be a shakeup in the CFP rankings this week. Number 3, Georgia falls to Ole Miss. Number 4, Miami loses to Georgia Tech. The Cavs, they're 11-0 after beating the Brooklyn Nets 105-100 yesterday. Evan Mobley led the way with 23 points and 16 rebounds. The Jackets lose on the road to the Kings 5-2.
From ONN, this is Hollywood Casinos On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Here are your hosts, Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Welcome to On the Money. I am Dave Biddle, joined by Scotty Vegas, Ryan Baker at the controls. This is a show about sports gambling, and we like to talk sports in general. We talk a ton of Ohio State football. And Scotty, it was Shakedown Saturday in college football yesterday. We had 2 top 4 teams going down. We have the Buckeyes with a near-perfect performance. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see them have the game in control early, have a bunch of backups playing in the fourth quarter. It worked out according to plan, got out of there unscathed. How you doing this morning, my friend?
I'm good, Dave. And you're right. It was almost like the perfect day yesterday for Ohio State. As far as, like, you got a big play on special teams. You got a defensive touchdown, which was really cool, and you did everything really offensively that you wanted to do. They end up covering the spread. They win the game 45-0. You get the shutout. So really, it's an A day for Ohio State. 45-0. You take care of Purdue. You should take care of Purdue. Purdue's awful. They are a really awful football team. They're probably going to end the season with 1 win. But yeah, you credit Ohio State. They did what you got to do. They didn't completely overlook them. They came out, took care of business, and got it done, Dave.
Yeah, and what'd you make of Ole Miss taking down Georgia? And it wasn't close.
I think
28-10.
That was the thing for me, is the fact that it wasn't close. Like, I would not have surprised me with Ole Miss beating Georgia. It was a small spread. It was like a 2-point spread. Georgia was a 2-point favorite.
Ole Miss was at home, yep.
Coming into that, Dave, like we've talked about, Georgia's offense just has not looked right? Carson Beck has had a pretty bad season. And so, I wasn't surprised that they lost. I was surprised that this in the fourth quarter wasn't even a game. And then talking about not even a game, how about Alabama just absolutely taking it to LSU? Now, that was one where I kind of was like, all right, it's 7:30, it's nighttime. This is the game I've been looking forward to. And I'm like, ready to go. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, this thing's ugly. And I didn't even watch any of the second half of that.
Yeah, and we should have thought, like, well, I mean, USC's bad. I mean, now UCLA has passed USC in the Big Ten standings, and USC went to LSU and won. That was our first warning sign, but I'm with you. I was thinking, wow, that was early in the year. Weird things happen early in the year. And LSU, as we all know, it's one of the toughest places to play. Like, if that game was at Bama, this wouldn't have surprised me. The fact that this was at LSU, whichever Death Valley you prefer, I think they probably have the tougher of the two between them and Clemson, both tough places to play. But LSU at night is known as one of the toughest places to play. I still give Penn State the nod. That wideout is legit. But that was surprising, man. I mean, they just smoked them 42-13 at LSU, and man, Brian Kelly, when he gets mad, I mean, he just wears his emotions on his sleeve and his face gets bright red. And it's assuming you don't have money on LSU, it's pretty funny. I'm sure Notre Dame fans were loving that. They love to hate Brian Kelly, don't they?
Oh, no doubt about it. I think there's a lot of people that love to hate Brian Kelly.
That's true. Cincinnati fans as well, and just a lot of people in general.
And then, by the way, and you mentioned as well, you have another top 4 team go down in Miami. And Miami played against Georgia Tech, and it was a road game, and it was a noon game. So it was the same time as the Ohio State game. But keeping an eye on that one, like, Miami has played with fire, Dave, all season long. Like, you and I have talked about Miami because I've got them in my, like, playoff to make the playoff parlay that we did at the beginning of the year. And they keep finding ways to win. They probably should have lost to Virginia Tech on the last play on a Hail Mary. They got lucky with a big comeback against Cal. But this time they kind of ran out of the luck because Georgia Tech, who is 6-4, not very good, a one-dimensional team, ended up taking it to them. I mean, the final score was 28-23, but Georgia Tech led throughout that entire game, and Miami was kind of playing catch up. So you have two top 4 teams go down, and I think as far as the playoff picture, Dave, what it means is now you're probably only going to have one team out of the Big 12. Right now, it's looking like it'll either be BYU or Colorado, the winner of that Big 12 championship game. And then the ACC now, I think you're probably only going to get one out of there as well, whoever wins that ACC championship. So the way this whole thing is breaking down, you're going to have lots of SEC, lots of Big 10, and then a few one-bid conferences.
We want to hear from you throughout the show today on Ohio State football, college football, sports betting, NFL, anything. 614-821-9710. 614-821-9710. Give us a shout. You also can hit us up on our YouTube page. We'll read your comments or questions there in the chat. 971 The Fans YouTube page. It keeps growing and growing and growing. It's great stuff. So there you go. You can hit us up on X as well, at Scotty Vegas 971. I'm at Dave Biddle. Very creative name that I came up with there. So again, 614-821-9710. Indiana looked like they were going to smoke Michigan. They're up 17-3. And Mr. Google Me, who I've been saying, and he's doing a great job, Signetti, got a little tight there. He got a little tight, got ultra conservative at the end of the first half, then did something else conservative. Then he decides, okay, now we're going to throw the ball from our own end zone, and then he gets picked off, and Michigan's right back in the game, kind of. And you're thinking, pick a lane, dude. Either you can't go ultra conservative and then, decide we're going to throw from our own end zone. But no, seriously, I mean, Indiana holds on 20-15. I want you to get into that. And then Ohio State, some of the highlights here I want to throw at you. I mean, Will Howard's ability to run the ball has just been a big difference for this offense because it just opens up everything. Look at Will Howard's stats. His rushing stats don't look good because college has the dumb rule where sacks count against your rushing yards, but passing 21 of 26, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, had a rushing touchdown. Officially 9 carries for 7 yards and 1 touchdown, but that includes sacks. Travion Henderson, my friend, looked great yesterday. Absolutely great. Jeremiah Smith continues to look great. Carnell Tate must be the best number 3 wide receiver in the country, and the defense stepped up. Again, Purdue's terrible, but this is exactly what I wanted to see from Ohio State.
Yeah, it really is. And we got to mention, too, the fact that they finally blocked a punt, right? We've been criticizing the special teams because it's been a frustrating thing as far as kick returns and lack of blocks and some field goals missed and stuff like that. But it was awesome to see because that kind of got the momentum started for Ohio State in this game. And so that was really cool. And then the defensive touchdown because Tua Maloau with the strip there and then Sawyer picking it up. I mean, that was just kind of a really cool thing. I'd pick it up with one hand and walk right into the end zone. That was a really cool scene. And then, look, maybe the most important thing about yesterday is you avoided any major injuries, right? Carson Hinsman, I got to tell you, we were at the casino, and everybody, when he was down, it was almost like the entire place, you could hear a pin drop in the entire casino. You could still hear the ding, 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 ding from the slot machines right. going, but everybody in the sports book was silent and just staring. And we're watching, and it's like, oh my gosh, please get up, okay, please get up. And he gets up, and he starts to stretch those legs out, and it's like, oh, that looked like a good stretch. You know what? That leg looked like it extended, okay. But that was the one thing, Dave, about yesterday's game. Get out of the game against Purdue without any major injuries.
You had Will Howard had a little misstep there at the end of or stepped on a Purdue player, one of his own guys. And it looked like he was holding his knee a little bit. I'm like, oh crap. But then he was okay. You're right. That was win the game.
Yeah.
And escape with no major injuries. That was, goals 1 and 2, period. That was the whole list of goals. So it worked out beautifully for Ohio State. All right. Next up, we're going to talk more Ohio State football. We're going to take your calls, 614-821-9710. 614-821-9710. That's up next on The Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Here, Heart Care helps you heal faster. Advanced, minimally invasive procedures mean less time recovering and more living life. See how we care for all of you at mountcarmelforyou.com. Here, care is where you need it. With over 350 primary care providers in Central Ohio, expert care is minutes away. See how we care for all of you at mountcarmelforyou.com.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greensons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Thanksgiving can be stressful when you're shopping on a budget. Let Family Dollar help you do more this year with amazing deals on the supplies you need for a great turkey day, from prep to cleanup. See how you could save on Thanksgiving staples like canned soups and veggies, or essentials such as disposable plates and utensils, trash bags, storage supplies, and more. For even greater savings, download the Family Dollar app, clip available offers, and redeem at checkout. Family Dollar, helping you do more.
Ready to be the change and have a positive impact on your community? Consider joining the Columbus Division of Police. Starting pay is $70,000 plus, growing to 6 figures after 4 years of service. We offer paid vacations, paid holidays, and health insurance. Do you aspire to complete your degree? We offer 100% tuition reimbursement after you complete your first year of service. Contact the CPD recruiting unit at jobs@columbuspolice.org or apply online at columbus.gov/government/jobs. The City of Columbus is an equal opportunity employer.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Welcome back to On the Money, where we're talking a little bit about the Indiana-Michigan game. And the way things broke yesterday with Georgia losing their second game and Miami losing their first game to Georgia Tech, you might now see Indiana right there, right around number 5 in the country. Now, they didn't look spectacular down the stretch against Michigan, but they come away with what they needed, which was a 5-point win. And that kind of has set up now Ohio State and Indiana in 2 weeks. And we've seen the look-ahead line as Ohio State minus 10.5. But you come away from that Indiana-Michigan game, at least I did, with some more question marks about how good this Indiana team is. Because we've had a hard time because Indiana really hasn't played anybody. They've dominated, Dave, the teams they have played, but I want to kind of get your impressions. Except for Michigan.
Yeah.
But what I was saying, though, is you're going to learn more about Indiana yesterday, and I think we did, and they hung on for that win over Michigan. Give them credit for that. But I now kind of am a little bit less worried about Indiana coming into Columbus and beating Ohio State.
Does that mean you're more worried about Michigan, too?
No. I'm not. Not at all.
I'm with you, though, because I don't think Michigan, with that offense, can hold up to this Ohio State scoring machine, even with the fact that Michigan's defense, even without Will Johnson yesterday, their defensive line played really well. And not just those two beasts that we're used to up front with Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant. Their defensive ends played well. In fact, I've been critical of their secondary without Will Johnson. They had a safety that played fantastic yesterday and was just like smacking people around. So Michigan's defense is good, but man, Davis Warren has been an improvement for their passing game. He's still not good. I just can't see Michigan coming in here and hanging, especially as motivated as Ohio State will be on November 30th. Oh, baby, we're counting down. We're 20 days away, Jim Tressel. We know how many days you're going to be proud of our young people on the football field in Columbus, Ohio.
So more importantly, we're 13 days away from Ohio State, Indiana.
Isn't that crazy? So here's the thing about Indiana. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they were exposed because early on it was like, okay, wow, 17-3. Looked like they might tack one on before the end of the first half. And Signetti, which is not his style, went conservative. And now, if it's not him, you would be like, okay, that's a smart thing to do. But you don't want to go away from what you have instilled, that we are going to go. Now, you're not going to be crazy about it, but it's 17-3. He had a chance to score at the end of the first half, and he's like, let's just go and let's take a knee. And then kind of gave Michigan the a little bit of momentum there. But yeah, you look at their defense. It's a solid defense, and their offense is legit. Even though Rourke didn't have a great game yesterday, their offense is legit. They got 2 good running backs. They got a solid offensive line. Signetti and his staff do a good job with that offense. But I can't see their defense coming to Columbus, Ohio, and hanging with this Ohio State offense for 60 minutes. Can Indiana make it a good game? Yes. I expect Ohio State to win that game and win it by double digits.
Now, I start to wonder, though, the way this whole national picture is kind of playing out with teams in the SEC really beating each other up, that we've talked about, okay, Indiana can't get absolutely dominated in that game against Ohio State. But here's the deal, Dave. Like, you still have to have 12 teams in this college football playoff. And so we're getting to the point where we're seeing a lot of losses across the board, that it's almost to the point where I think Indiana, as long as it's not an absolute blowout where they lose by 4 or 5 touchdowns, as long as they keep it somewhat in play with Ohio State late, I think at 11-1, I'd be shocked if they don't get it, mainly because of the rest of the national picture and how it's playing out.
I'm with you. Because they'll be 6th, right, when the playoff rankings come out, right? So then, and if they're one loss, even if it is a blowout, let's say, they're going to be 6th according to the committee. They're going to lose at the number 1 or number 2 team in the country, according to the committee, Ohio State. Let's say it's even a blowout. They go on and beat Purdue, and they're sitting there 11-1. There's no way they would drop from 6th to 12th. They might be 11th, but I bet it'd be more like 10th or 9th. I'm with you. 11-1 Purdue. I'll go as far as say even if they get blown out. 11-1 or Purdue. 11-1 Purdue would be interesting. 11-1 Indiana is a lock, in my opinion.
The crazy thing is, playing this out, there is a chance you might see potentially 2 or 3 Big Ten teams actually host playoff games the way this is, because you figure that the loser of the Big Ten championship game they'll probably be the 5 or the 6. Penn State is in a situation where most likely they finish with 1 loss in Indiana. So you might see a lot of Midwest playoff football this year, which will be a lot of fun.
You might see Indiana at Penn State in round 1.
You could.
Because 11-1 Indiana is not going to be ahead of 11-1 Penn State. Penn State would probably be like the 6, and Indiana could be the 11, or it'd be the 11, or Penn State could be 7, Indiana could be 10. It'd be very interesting. Although Penn State's not going to fall to 7th if they win their last couple games.
We've always wanted those SEC teams to travel up here for winter football, and we might see it with this playoff format. When we come back, we're going to do something fun. We're going to go across the board, and we're going to do a draft. It's teams that we think are most likely to win the national championship. Dave and I are going to go head-to-head snake-style draft. That's next on The Money.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew. You said it, Dave. But a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible. That's right. You got to pause before you play. Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky. And pausing to set limits is an all-star move. That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop. Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Have you lost Ohio Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost, quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
November is an ideal month to plant trees in Ohio because the soil is still warm, which reduces the transplant stress. Plus, trees require less water in November than in the heat of the summer, allowing roots to grow in the cooler temperatures. When planting trees, keep these tips in mind. Select trees that are zone hardy for where you plan to plant. Avoid planting trees that produce slip hazards, like fruits and nuts close to sidewalks. And don't plant large trees near or under utility lines. To learn more about the November tree planting, contact an ISA-certified arborist near you by going to trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
I don't know what I want to do. I'm just not sure that college is right for me.
Have you considered a career in dental assisting? I love my job as a dental assistant. I have flexible work hours, the money is good, and I get to work in a professional, people-oriented dental office. What I really love about my job is knowing that I give people a healthy smile.
For more information about becoming a dental assistant, contact your high school guidance counselor. Or if you are no longer in school, talk to a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
If a friend asks how you're doing, and you say,
I'm okay.
When the truth is,
I don't want my problems to burden anyone.
Or you say,
hang it in there.
Because
if I ask for help, they'll just think I'm weak.
Then this is your sign to call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential support. Anytime. You don't have to hide how you feel.
Ohio has over 920,000 diabetics. If you are a diabetic, take a step in the right direction by having your feet checked routinely by a podiatric physician, the most qualified doctors to care for your feet. Adding a podiatrist to your healthcare team can help you better manage the effects of diabetes on your feet. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
On ONN.
Welcome back to On the Money. Scotty and I are going to have a college football draft. Basically, it's going to be, we're each going to draft 6 teams. We're going to have a total of 12 teams, hence the 12-team playoff. And the way it works is we're going to have a scoring system where, much like the NCAA tournament, where let's say Scotty picks the national champion on his team, he'll get like 10 points. If you get a team that goes to the semifinals, you get 7 and on and on and on. First of all, we need to flip.
Okay,
so who gets the? We're going to do snake style, but whoever wins the flip, I think, might be taking a team from Columbus, Ohio, who right now is your betting favorite to win the national championship, that being the Ohio State Buckeyes. All right, let's flip.
Dave, I don't have a coin, but what I do have is a betting slip from Hollywood Casino Columbus. So I'm going to put where words or blank side. So you can either call words or blank side of my betting slip. So I'm going to throw it in the air. Here you go.
Blank side.
Okay, it is. You got it. It is the blank side. Darn it.
Bam. Okay,
Gosh.
So I will take Ryan Day, Big Willie style, Caleb Downs, Jim Knowles' dance moves, and the Ohio State Buckeyes.
What a shocker. All right. Yep. I mean, obviously, that would have been my pick as well. They are, by the way, now the national championship betting favorite, and the odds keep changing. So good call by you. Let's go with Oregon as my first pick. Ooh. And because it is a snake, I am going to go a little off the board. I think most people would think that I would go Texas here. I'm not. I'm going to go with the team that has 2 enormous wins, one where they destroyed LSU last night, and one where they beat Georgia. I'm going to take Bama.
That's not even like a crazy. I bet if you look up the betting odds, they've got to be.
I've got them.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna take Bama certainly with one of my next 2 picks. So that's not as crazy as you're making it out to be. I'm just saying.
Oh, it's crazy.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Julian's saying. All right, let's see here. We're prisoners of the moment because now Georgia sucks and Bama's great. You know, there's been weeks where oh, see, Bama sucks and Georgia's still great. I love college football. All right, give me. Man, am I just going to stay in the SEC? I guess so. Give me Texas. And am I going to take Georgia or Tennessee? I'll take Georgia.
So let me ask you. So I took Bama at 3. Would Bama have been your choice at 3? So I think it's
I said they would have been one of them. Yeah, so it's probably 3. It wouldn't have really mattered for me because I had the next two.
Well, what I'm saying is
three or four for me.
If you or me, and obviously Oregon is 2, Bama would be number 3 for you.
Yeah, and I doesn't it feel like, we said this before Georgia lost. We were saying this last week. Like, doesn't it kind of feel like the more we watch Carson Beck that, like, it feels like almost like an Ohio State-Oregon battle? And then, no, anything can happen. It's not like Bama couldn't win, or Texas, or Georgia, or Ole Miss, or Penn State, or probably not Penn State. The point is, Scott, there feels like there's a pretty big delta from 1, 2, and then 3.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, so to answer your question, though, yes, I would have taken Bama 3. Sorry, I didn't understand what you meant. So I'll take, I'll take Texas, and I'll take Georgia.
Okay, so
and then you do one, and then we'll do another one after the break.
Yeah.
I'm going to break this down a little bit, though, too.
Based on the betting odds, we have now taken the top 5 teams. And number 6 on the betting odds is who I am going to go with, and it's Ole Miss, right? After their win. They might not even make the playoffs. If they lose another game, they won't even make the playoffs. But the way they played yesterday, knocking off Georgia, you can see their top-end talent. You can see their ceiling. If they get in, they're a very dangerous team. So I am going to take Ole Miss at pick number 6. And that is your betting odds. So Ohio State is the favorite at ESPN Bet at plus 325. Then you have Oregon at plus 360, who I took as my first pick. And then Texas is plus 475 to win it all. Georgia is 8-1. Alabama's 10-1. Ole Miss is also 10-1. Those are your updated national championship odds.
When I said that there's like a giant delta between 1 and 2 Ohio State and Texas, not really accurate according to the betting lines. It's more like there's a big jump from 3 to 4.
Correct.
With Texas at plus 475, Georgia at 8-1. Whereas it's still a relatively big jump from 2 to 3, but not as big as I thought. So you have Ohio State, to repeat what Scotty just said. Ohio State's your betting favorite, plus 325. Oregon, number 2, at plus 360. And then Texas, plus 475. Then it jumps to 8-1 for Georgia, 10-1 for Bama and Ole Miss. So really a jump from 3 to 4 there. Very interesting. I just love looking at it and this is not new this week. This was actually the case last week, which surprised me mildly. But this is 2 straight weeks Ohio State is your betting favorite.
You know the wild
thing? The national title.
Yeah, you know the wild thing, Dave, is the fact that Ohio State and Oregon will very likely play each other 3 times this year, right? They played in Eugene. There's a great chance, as long as Ohio State beats Indiana and Michigan, that Ohio State would play them in the Big Ten championship. And then you're looking at a very high likelihood that they would meet in the semifinals as the 1 seed and the 5 seed in the playoffs. So they could meet 3 times and it not be in the national championship game.
Scotty and I have drafted half of our college football team so far. I have Ohio State, Texas, and Georgia. He has Oregon, Bama, and Ole Miss. Scotty gets the first pick of the 4th round next, and obviously he's got a lot of work to do on the money.
More of Hollywood Casinos on the money. On the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Ready for a new ride? Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam here for Truehold. Home values in the city, well, they're sky high. We know that. You have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market is peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's the right time. Except for 2 things. High interest rates are going to burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Pretty smart, right? Truehold is going to make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others, and it's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, secure your retirement, and do whatever you want with it. It's your cash. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. Again, that's Truehold.com.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Your weekend freebie is free Kroger brand cheese slices. Just use your digital coupon Saturday or Sunday. Minimum purchase required. See coupon for details. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
In honor of Veterans Day, we're celebrating those who have given the ultimate sacrifice by giving back to Tunnel to Towers. Get to Twin Peaks and donate $5 to Tunnel to Towers through November 30th and receive $5 back to spend on yourself at Twin Peaks this December. Valid at participating locations. Tickets for the 2025 Memorial Tournament presented by Workday are now on sale with special offers only through December 5th. Walk the rope line. Witness iconic shots by golf's best. Join the crowd roars. The experience is yours, and it's second to none. Be there May 26th through June 1st. Take advantage of best ticket pricing and waived fees now through December 5th. Visit memorialtickets.com today.
This is Ryan Krieger, and at Krieger Ford, we know life's busy. Let us handle your car care. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or have our technicians come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos on the money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
And it's 9:30, and we got live football on our TVs here at the Fan Studios. Sort of. It's the Giants and the Panthers. And my favorite betting nugget from the entire weekend is this one. It's the Giants and Panthers have combined 53 games in a row as underdogs. Giants have been an underdog 24 times, Panthers 29, and 53 games in a row as an underdog. The only way that streak was going to end this week is because they are playing each other, and this is just how bad the Panthers are. The Giants are bad, but they're a 6.5-point favorite over the Panthers, and they just kicked off from Dave's homeland in Germany, so we will keep track of that throughout the morning.
Hey, guys, real quick, while we're talking about this game, I understand this is technically a home game for the Panthers, but they've got Carolina Panthers in the end zones. Like, shouldn't you want to promote both teams for this since it's a new country and, like, have one end zone the Giants, one end zone the Panthers? It just seems kind of weird to me.
It is kind of odd. But I will give the Panthers credit. I like these uniforms a lot. The black helmets, the kind of Carolina blue tops, the jerseys. I like it. So it's a good look. It's a bad looking football team altogether, but the uniforms look good. All right, let's get back to our college football draft. And here's what we're doing. We are drafting teams based on how far we think they can go in the college football playoffs. So far, we have done 6 picks. Pick number 1 was Dave with Ohio State. Pick number 2 for me was Oregon, and then 3 was Alabama. 4 went back to Dave with Texas, and then Georgia at 5. And then I took Ole Miss at 6. There's a big drop-off now in the betting odds on teams that can win it all. So at this stage, kind of what we're trying to do is find a team that'll get into the playoff and win a game. And I'm going to go with the Indiana Hoosiers. They're undefeated. They didn't look fantastic yesterday, but they're still an undefeated football team. I think they can get into the playoff and win one game. So I'll take Indiana at pick number 7. Dave, back to you.
Okay. I don't think they're the best team, but I just know they're going to get in. At least it feels that way at this point. So my first pick here will be BYU.
Ooh. Who survived last night, by the way.
They shouldn't have, but they did. They were the benefactors of a terrible holding call that would have ended the game. And then I will take Tennessee.
Okay. And that's an interesting pick because Tennessee now has a game this week with Georgia. And both Georgia and Tennessee have 2 losses, right? So, or I'm sorry, no, Tennessee, does Tennessee have 2 losses or do they have 1? No, they still only have 1. So that's a game where you figured that Georgia will be the favorite at Georgia. If Tennessee were to lose, they might find their way kind of on the outside of the playoff hunt. But you're taking Tennessee at pick number 9. I am going to go with Penn State.
Yeah, that was my next one. Yep.
I give them a ton of credit because I thought after that game against Ohio State, they might be a little bit slow going against Washington, but they absolutely killed Washington yesterday. So Penn State is going to be pick number 10. And then for number 11 for me, I'm going to go with Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame can get into the playoff and win a game. So I'll take Notre Dame at number 11.
I almost forgot about Notre Dame. I was like jotting my teams down here. My bad. I probably would have taken them over BYU, but we'll see. It looks like BYU is a lock to make the Big 12 championship game. But if they make it and lose, I don't know if they'd be in. Maybe
I don't think they would.
Let's say they lost to Colorado and they're sitting there at 12-1. With 12-1 BYU, not conference champs, make it in as like the 10 or 11 seed. I don't know. Because now, if you're the committee, you've got to be thinking of 12-1 BYU sitting there. They just lost to Colorado in the Big 12 championship game, and you're sitting there. Like, would we take, let's say, Bama has 3 losses. We taking 3-loss Bama. Let's say their next loss is a close loss to a good team. Or are we taking 1-loss BYU with really no quality wins? I would think the committee would take 3-loss Bama actually over 1-loss BYU.
I would hope so. Because, again, it goes back to you're trying to take the best teams. And I don't think anybody would say that Alabama wouldn't be better, right? So I think it would make sense that they would take Alabama in that.
Do I have one more? I'll take, I believe I have one more, right?
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Wait, did you took BYU there?
To BYU and Tennessee, right? And you took Penn State. So you have 1, 2, 3, but you have one more. You take anybody after Penn State?
I took Notre Dame.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You took Notre Dame. So I'll take SMU.
Okay.
I forgot about Notre Dame. That's right. All right. Now, we got to figure out what we're going to do as far as the punishment.
Oh.
We do a lot of this stuff where it's like a lot of money's on the line, and we got to take Ryan out to like fancy steakhouses. Let's do something that's like fun.
Okay.
So you and I are going to be in Indianapolis probably for Big Ten championship game. We're going to do our show live from Indianapolis, hopefully from, the sports bar there, maybe from our hotel room. We're going to do a special edition of On the Money from Indianapolis, assuming Ohio State beats Indiana to get to Indy, which we think is going to happen. All right, so we're going to be in this room that has one king-size bed for some reason, and one of us is going to have to sleep on the floor air mattress, which is ridiculous. All right, so I say the winner gets to sleep on the king-size bed. The loser gets to sleep on the floor.
Oh, now those stakes are even bigger than money.
But how are we going to know this? It's about the college football playoff.
It's a good point.
The Big Ten championship will be before then.
Stop it, Ryan.
So the stakes have to be after. They have to be something after the playoff is over. So
when we're
we do our show out at the casino for the Super Bowl.
When we're covering the national championship game.
Okay, that hotel room.
All right. What if that hotel room does? Even if that hotel room has 2 beds, the loser has to sleep on the floor. The loser is going to sleep on the floor, and then like about a half hour later is going to crawl into bed.
Can I bring a sleeping bag?
The winner is going to then push the loser off of the bed. You got to be a man of your word.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Let's do that. All right. When we come back, we're going to shift gears. We're going to talk NFL. You had a devastating loss on Thursday night, Dave. We got to get into it next. Sorry, Bengals fans. This is On the Money.
This is Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Common Man and T-Bone here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Bone, did you know the sportsbook is now called ESPN Bet?
I did, and you can watch your favorite teams on the biggest screens, place your bets, and grab some wings with an ice-cold pint.
Maybe you're too boring and don't want to go to the casino. Good news, you can keep the action going and place your bets on the go with the ESPN Bet app.
The ESPN Bet Sportsbook is your 50-yard line ticket to odds, point spreads, and over-unders.
It's the place to be. Losers must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
My name is Brennan Ward. I'm a football player. It was just an average warm-up before a game. All of a sudden, I felt my knee move out of place, and I fell to the ground. Me and my mom went to orthopedic one. The doctor said there's a possibility that I might need surgery, but he also said I might be able to finish the season. I think I knew I wanted to get surgery just because I wanted to get as healthy as I can for the long run. Really happy with how it went. I'm really excited about the college I chose and excited to get there and start playing. I just think everything plays out like how it should. Orthopedic one got me back on the field doing what I love.
Hey Columbus, Caden Curry here, Ohio State student athlete for Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. When it comes to hard work, whether on the field or the farm, I need something that's as tough and reliable as I am. That's why I trust Kubota diesel tractors from Green & Sons. Kubota's diesel tractor motors are high-powered, reliable, and don't stop running, just how I like to play. So when you're serious about getting the job done, you need the Kubota equipment you can trust from Green & Sons. Check them out at greenandsons.com or stop by one of their stores in Mount Sterling and in Raymond, north of Marysville.
Giant Eagle and Market District have deals for fall days. That's right. Find your favorite tailgate appetizers or grabbing all the crowd-pleasing essentials for the big Halloween party. Return to your routine and shop while saving big in the process. There are over 1,000 items with incredibly low prices throughout the store. Don't wait, because the Deals for Days sales are only available for a limited time. Visit your local Giant Eagle or Market District today. Learn more about the Deals for Days sales event at gianteagle.com.
The NFL continues on, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel. Yeah, Shark, Carp, and Beam here. That's America's #1 sportsbook. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets. If your first $5 bet wins, Beam, that's just a Lincoln right for you.
Yeah, what about a Sunday slate for Week 10? Let's take a look at it. How about this? You get a 9:30 Giants and Panthers over in Germany. Then your 1 o'clock slate. I'm pretty sure this is the first game that the Chiefs have played at 1 o'clock all year. They're at home taking on the Denver Broncos. The Browns are on a bye week, Shark, so you don't have to worry about them. But you can do anytime touchdown score, over rushing yards, passing yards, under for the whole score. It's very easy to do, Sharky. I know you love it.
And all you have to do is visit FanDuel.com/juice to make every moment more this season. FanDuel is an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Must be 21 and older and present in Ohio. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Hollywood Casinos On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
On ONN.
All right, Thursday night, even for Zach Taylor standards, was pretty bad for the Bengals. You have just all-time great performances from Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and you still can't win. And it's like a trend at this point. Weird things are going to happen in football, but weird things happen to Zach Taylor way too often. And you do wonder, at least I wonder, I don't know if you wonder, hopefully you don't. Hope you don't spend any time thinking about the Bengals. I do wonder what a good coach could do with this roster, what a good coach could do with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Zach Taylor, not a good coach. Here's all the teams that are lining up to hire him. Just the Bengals. He was not qualified at all. He was a bad offensive coordinator in college at UC. Okay, they had the 100-some ranked total offenses 1 year at UC. Really, really bad, Scott.
Yeah, but look, that Thursday night game was a mess as far as officiating goes as well. It really was, and I don't need to tell you that. I'm sure you were throwing things at the TV. I'm sure that in your man cave you were very, very angry, but the officiating was awful. I got to ask you guys this, because we've now seen it multiple times in the NFL this year, and especially in the last couple weeks. Why can we not get to the point where we can review face mask or missed face mask? That's tough to say. Face mask penalties. Why can we not get to that point where you can challenge and get that? Because it is a huge, huge thing that apparently these refs are missing relatively consistently now, and it sucks. It's it's determined games, and I hate it. And where do you guys stand as far as that?
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. That's when something is, and I get what do we? Because Belichick has his mantra is basically everything should be reviewable or nothing should be. And I'm not one that says that you should be reviewing holding on every play, because you could call holding on every play. But a blatant face mask, when something's that obvious, why is that not reviewable? I'd love to hear the rationale why that is not reviewable. When they can come down, there's, it wasn't called targeting on the field, and they can blow down and be like, oh, yeah, they kind of grazed helmets. He kind of launched at him. So they can review that. But a guy grabs a face mask, twists the guy's neck almost off, and you can't review that? I don't understand the logic there.
I think if you have a challenge, you should be able to use your challenge however you want. You should be able to challenge whatever call. But again, you lose it then. So, and I didn't really see the one that you're talking about, Bids, but the one on Burrow where the guy's hand just kind of brushes his face mask as he's going down. I know technically they call that a penalty, but I don't think really that's a penalty or a face mask penalty.
I didn't have a problem with that because I'd be a hypocrite. I hate the ones that are not the spirit of the rule where a guy like brushes the head. That's not supposed to be.
Yeah, agree.
It's supposed to be like you don't want to these guys clubbing quarterbacks in the head like back in the day, which used to happen, as we all know. I mean, they used to just club quarterbacks in the head. And that's the spirit of the rule. Like if a guy like just barely hits his like pinky finger on the helmet of a quarterback, that's going to hurt his pinky finger. It's not going to hurt the quarterback. Yeah. So, no, I didn't have a problem with that. Now, the 2-point conversion where guys are out there just jumping on people and throwing them down like that, I kind of had a problem with that.
Yeah.
But you never should be in that situation when Jamar Chase has like 11 catches for 264 yards and 3 touchdowns. Burrow's out there, despite all this pressure, I'm throwing for 4 touchdowns, no intercept. I mean, it's ridiculous how bad Zach Taylor is.
So, Dave, and I know that you have scars from this week and from this season, really. But if you're the Bengals, it sounds like you are moving on from Zach Taylor after this season. Am I hearing that correctly?
It's never going to happen, though, and I know that for.
But you, I'm saying, if you are in charge,
oh, for sure, and the idea, who would the Bengals get? You're right. I mean, I with Joe Burrow, I guarantee they can find somebody better than Zach Taylor. But him making the Super Bowl even had nothing to do with him. The defense played great. Obviously, Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and some of the stars on offense. But it really was the defense. It definitely wasn't because of Zach Taylor. But the point is, them just making a Super Bowl, I'm not exaggerating, bought him probably 10 years. Marvin Lewis never won a Super Bowl. Breaking news. Never won a playoff game. They kept him for 15 years.
The crazy thing, Dave, is perhaps the 2 best teams in the NFL. Maybe 2 of the top 4 teams in the NFL. The Chiefs and the Ravens. The Cincinnati Bengals should be 3-0 against those teams this year. Like Cincinnati should be 3-0 against them. Absolutely should be. Instead, they're 0-3. And that's devastating for Bengals fans who right now, the odds for the Cincinnati Bengals to make the playoffs is plus 130. Okay, they are a long shot to make the playoffs. Not crazy long, but plus 130. So in that, as far as percentage chance goes, that puts you a little bit above 40% chance of the Bengals making the playoffs. And with this team and this roster and this firepower on offense, the fact that this team might not make the playoffs is crazy.
It really is. And now, I mean, they're in a situation where they either have to win out or maybe they can lose one more game. They put themselves in that position. They're going to be the best team to not make the playoffs this year. They'll probably be sitting there at 9-7. I mean, and even if they get to, or 9-8, even if they get to 10-7, I don't think that they would make it in the AFC.
If they sneak in, though, they are a very, very dangerous team. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more NFL and give out a couple best bets. This is On the Money.
More of Hollywood Casinos On the Money. On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
Coming up on ONN.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Do you want a job that is flexible, secure, and fun? It also offers excellent pay and is ranked as one of the best jobs in America, too. I'm talking about being a dental hygienist. And all you have to do is complete a 2-year program after high school. Visit ODA.org to learn more and to start helping people love their smile. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS-TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC-TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
Did you know 38% of Ohio's teenagers
Have spent money on gambling in video and online games? Items like mystery boxes, skins, and spin to win mimic gambling, putting children at a higher risk of experiencing a gambling disorder as an adult. So get in the know about youth gambling and start the conversation with discussion guides, parent resources, and more at changethegameohio.org. That's changethegameohio.org.
Ohio has over 920,000 diabetics. If you are a diabetic, take a step in the right direction by having your feet checked routinely by a podiatric physician, the most qualified doctors to care for your feet. Adding a podiatrist to your healthcare team can help you better manage the effects of diabetes on your feet. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
If a friend asks how you're doing, and you say,
I'm okay.
When the truth is,
I don't want my problems to burden anyone.
Or you say,
hang it in there.
Because
if I ask for help, they'll just think I'm weak.
Then this is your sign to call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential support. Anytime. You don't have to hide how you feel.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Hollywood Casinos On the Money.
Presented by Ohio for Responsible Gambling.
From ONN.
Welcome back to On the Money. All right, Scotty. NFL. We've got Bengals 4-6. They're not going to make the playoffs. Browns are not going to make the playoffs. Steelers will. Ravens will. And I still can't believe the Steelers over-under for win total was 8.5 coming into the year. We talked about you talked about it more than anybody. You're like, this, you got to take the over here. And they're going to go way over. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, we were looking at it all off season. It's like, what happens year after year after year? The Steelers go better than 500. So I did want to switch to college football, though, and start looking at some of these conference championship odds and winners. And let's start out with the SEC, because we've seen some crazy things happen now in the SEC where Georgia has 2 losses on the board. Alabama has a couple losses. Big one this weekend, Georgia and Tennessee. But the favorite in the SEC is Texas at plus 110. Texas A&M is plus 425. Tennessee 5-1. Alabama 8-1. This is to win the SEC championship. I'm curious if you see any value, anything that you like as far as the SEC championship.
Oh boy, it's just too. I really don't. I'm going to stay away from it. It's just such a crapshoot. If I had to bet, I think. I don't know why I'm even saying this, because Carson Beck looks like trash. I guess I'm going to pick Georgia. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I
2 conference losses, though, man. I don't know if they're making the SEC championship game.
Yeah, I know. And I don't. Texas is hard to figure out, because everybody, was saying, oh, look how great Texas looks against Michigan, who's not a good team. Look how good they looked against Oklahoma, not a good team. So it's hard to really pin down Texas.
So stay away. You can say, I'm not betting.
Yeah, I
choose not to bet.
I choose not to. I'm legit going to do that too. I'm going to stay away from SEC champ. Do you see one that you like?
No, I really don't, because there's just too many. Look, there's just too many teams that can still make the SEC championship game. There's not great value. I mean, A&M, I don't trust, but they have the second best odds to win the SEC at this point, and they do have Texas at home in a couple weeks. Let's go to the Big Ten. So Oregon is the favorite to win the Big Ten at minus 115. Ohio State plus 125, and then you have Indiana at 10-1. Ohio State plus 125. Now that number means you have to beat Indiana to get there, and then beat Oregon. I don't like the value in that. I would rather just bet them individually to beat Indiana, to beat Michigan, and then beat Oregon than to take the plus 125.
Oh, yeah, I like what you're thinking there. Man, I would really like Ohio State's chances in the Big Ten championship game. I have a ton of respect for this Oregon team. But the fact you'd have the revenge factor, and yeah, it wouldn't be the same as playing them at Ohio Stadium, but it'd be the next best thing. It's such an easy drive over there to Indy, not just from Columbus, but pretty much anywhere in Ohio. You have a ton of Ohio State fans in the Dayton area. It's an even easier drive for them. Scotty, I think it'd be probably 80-20 Ohio State fans. I feel like I'm being nice to Oregon.
Yeah.
A lot of Oregon fans really going to travel. Now, maybe they will because it's the first time they've been in the Big Ten. They're sitting there. They'd be the number one team in the country, 12-0. Maybe they're going to say, oh, everybody thinks that, Ohio State should have beat us. We're going to show this. So maybe it would be, I can't imagine it being anything more than 75-25, though.
But if you think about this, if you're an Oregon fan and you're wanting to travel to big games and thinking about it, and it's like, do I travel to Indy? We're in the playoff no matter what. So, we still potentially have 3, maybe 4 playoff games to try and travel to. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think it'd probably be 85-90% Ohio State fans that have to do the 2.5-hour drive. And we know that Ohio State fans do that drive. How about the ACC? Because this one has really had a big shakeup lately. Now, Miami, after losing, is still the favorite in the ACC at plus 125. Clemson plus 210, SMU plus 225. And I actually this morning was looking up ACC tiebreakers. And just because SMU is undefeated right now in the conference, likely that they will be in the ACC championship game. But if it comes down to 1-loss Clemson, 1-loss Miami, Miami would win the tiebreaker. I think there's a little bit of value on Miami at plus 125 still to win the ACC.
I agree with you. And you said plus 225 for SMU?
Yes, 225.
Yeah. Plus 225. It'd be one of those two. Yeah, it'd be one of those two, man. Again, they should be giving these certain conferences, should not be on the same footing with the SEC and Big Ten, but c'est la vie. First hour of the show is in the books. If you are listening on the fan, stick around for the second hour. And we want to hear from you guys. 614-821-9710. 614-821-9710. This is On the Money.
Bobby Carpenter here for Germain Toyota. Ready for a new ride? Swing by Germain Toyota and ask for Marcello and discover unbeatable deals and a wide selection of new and certified pre-owned Toyota vehicles. Visit them at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Anthony here, and over the years, I've tried to stay in the fight, keep playing, but every now and then, something gets me, shoulder pain, a knee tweak, a recent bout of golfer's elbow. When the weekend warrior injuries happen, the first call I make is to the specialists at Orthopedic One. I don't mess around. I want the #1 ranked place for orthopedics in Ohio. They've earned the right to be called Central Ohio's most trusted team of orthopedic experts. Get started at orthopedic1.com. No referral needed, but if you want one, I got you.
You need reliable appliances to help you conquer your day. Menards offers a variety of appliances ready to take home today. Criterion has refrigerators, freezers, and dishwashers built to help you make your life simpler. No matter how busy your life is, Criterion appliances are ready when you are. Save big money on all Criterion appliances. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Active military or veteran planning your next career move? Columbus State's IT programs prepare you for a high-tech career in Columbus's fastest growing fields. Our veteran services team will help you maximize your benefits and connect to a supportive campus community. Apply at cscc.edu/IT.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Busy schedule? This is Ryan Krieger, and Krieger Ford has you covered. Krieger Ford offers pickup and delivery, or our mobile service van will come right to you. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today only at KriegerFord.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good morning. I'm Ryan Baker. We've got live NFL action going on right now as the Giants and Panthers are playing over in Germany. 5 minutes left in the first quarter, and the Panthers have a 7-0 lead. Bryce Young actually looking pretty good in this one so far. He's thrown a touchdown pass. The Browns on a bye this week, and the Bengals played Thursday, so you'll get the Steelers and Commanders here on the Fan later today at 1. Number 2, Ohio State improves to 8-1 on the year, 45-0. They shut out Purdue yesterday. Great game from the defense. Not only do they get the shutout, but they score a touchdown as well. Jeremiah Smith breaking all the freshman receiving records. Yesterday, he passes Chris Carter on the receptions and the yards list. There's going to be a shakeup in the CFP rankings, too. Number 3, Georgia loses to Ole Miss. Number 4, Miami falls to Georgia Tech. And the Cavs are 11-0. They beat Brooklyn 105-100 last night.
Scotty's kids don't ask how his day was. They ask if all his bets won. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by ESPN Bet, the official sportsbook of ESPN. What a play.
Welcome back to On the Money. 971 The Fan. I am Dave Biddle. I am joined by Scott Prokop. We like to call him Scotty Vegas. We have producer Ryan Baker at the controls. We're hearing from you this segment, 614-821-9710. Eventually, we're going to get to Charlie, who's on the line. But right now, it's time for the Parlay Party. Hit it, Ryan. All right. The Parlay Party is where we celebrate anything we want to celebrate. Could be a nice parlay that we hit. Could be anything at all. Scotty Vegas, what are you celebrating today, my friend?
A couple things I'm celebrating. First off, I thought yesterday was nearly the perfect game for the Buckeyes. You get the shutout. You walk away with no major injuries against Purdue. Jeremiah Smith out there breaking records. Special teams. Yes, the block punt. That was fantastic. And how about that defensive touchdown? Just across the board, I give it a near perfect game for the Buckeyes yesterday. 45-0 over Purdue. Loved that. Easy win. Cover. No sweat on the cover. Nicely done, Buckeyes. The other thing I'm celebrating, Dave, is last Monday night was so much fun for Buckeye Hoops. Comes away with the victory over Texas. That was so fun. And actually, guys, after that win over Texas, I was like, gosh, get me to the next game. I can't wait for the Buckeyes to take the court again. They play tomorrow against Youngstown State. I just can't wait for this Buckeye season and watching this progress and watching this team go. So, guys, that's what I'm celebrating this Sunday. Ryan, what are you celebrating?
So, guys, I had a nice little Thursday night bids. I'm sorry your Bengals lost, but I had a nice little single-game parlay on that. I also did a little college basketball bet for some reason. Moved some lines and got that as well. So I was pretty pumped about that. Listen, I don't think Ohio State's been perfect, but the defense has been pretty good the last couple weeks. Anytime you haven't given up a touchdown in over 2 games, that's big time. So I like the improvement there in the defense. I'm so happy Carson Hinsman is back. I don't know where he went for a while. The APB worked, though. We got him back, and I'm glad that Carson Hinsman is back on that Ohio State line. I'm also glad that we are taking everyone's calls. So 614-821-9710. Bids, what are you pumped about?
Yeah, I like taking everybody's calls. So soon we're going to get to Charlie, then we're going to get to Mike. So hold on the lines, guys. We're going to get to you in just a moment. I'm celebrating the way Ohio State looked and just where they're at, that they're the betting favorite. They're exactly where they wanted to be. You know, I mean, losing Josh Simmons for the season sucks. But overall, this deep into the season, you know, for a football team, they're in pretty good health. They got out of yesterday's game healthy. So I'm celebrating everything Ohio State football right now, and I'm celebrating. It's my dad's 86th birthday. I'm going to go down to Beaver Creek in the Dayton area and celebrate that with him and my mom after the show. So going straight there, 86th birthday. So yeah, happy birthday, Dad. And and I'm celebrating. I hit a 4-leg. Last thing, I had a 4-leg parlay from college football yesterday. I texted it to you guys. It was like over 1,000, like plus like 1,000 and change. So that's a little 4-leg parlay that I hit. So was happy about that. So that's what I'm celebrating. And now I want to hear from the people. Charlie, welcome to On the Money. What do you got, Charlie?
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
If there's one thing that I'm still concerned about the team with, it's tackling. it just seems like a lot of arm tackles still, and a lot of missed tackles. And I know Ryan Day preaches effort, but I feel like there's times where you also need to focus on clean, fundamentally sound football and tackling. And so I just feel like if we really want to get to where we want to go in January, we really need to clean up the tackling. But on a positive spin, to my memory, I don't remember Will Howard throwing a horrible interception yesterday, which he was seeming to do every single week. I mean, every week it would just be one bonehead throw that he'd make, but I don't remember that happening yesterday. So thanks.
Thanks for the call. And I agree with you 100%, Charlie, on tackling. In fact, I wrote down in my notes during the game, it's like, guys need to remember they have arms. Too many times we see guys fly in there like they just have a head. It's like, wrap with your arms. And I think overall Cody Simon played well. But there was a play, that, for example, where he came in there, he just hit the guy, hoping to knock him down. It's like, wrap and roll, wrap and roll. They teach you this in grade school football, wrap and roll. That's why I wish they still did the rugby-style tackling. I could not agree with you more. Now, can they look good against mediocre teams or bad teams like Purdue and get away with, not terrible tackling, but not being a sure tackling team? Yeah, they can get away with it. And they had some big hits in yesterday's game. Can they win the national championship being a team that consistently misses tackles? No, they can't. So it is a concern.
Bids, real quick on that. Sorry, guys. You guys know I'm around high school football a lot. I think the tackling is so bad because they don't tackle anymore. They don't want people to get hurt in practice. They don't want people taking hits. So you say they're taught to wrap and roll, and they might be, but they don't practice it anymore. There's not enough tackling in practices, and we're seeing it in games.
It was 10 years ago where Chris Ash, who really was the defensive coordinator, it was him and Luke, but Chris Ash really ran the defense when Ohio State won the national championship in 2014. They were practicing tackling the day before the national championship game. I've mentioned this many times on this show. Well, why is that important? Because he felt like it was safe. Is it like 100% safe? If you're tackling somebody to the ground, things can happen. But he felt it was safe because they're teaching rugby-style tackling. They're not trying to go up there and knock each other out. And that Ohio State team, in addition to winning the national championship, least amount of missed tackles of any Power 5 team. They saw the Power 5 in college football that year. Those things are related.
Yeah, and when we talk about, when Ohio State has 2 games in a row where they don't give up a touchdown, and it's like, okay, now we're talking about tackling, and it's like, oh, gosh, you guys are really nitpicking. Well, yes, we are nitpicking because we think this is a national championship caliber team. So when there's things like that come up, yeah, that could cost them down the line. So I like the call, Charlie. Let's go out now to Mike. Mike, you are on the money.
Good morning, guys. I love your show. Last Sunday, I had a parlay for the NFL that had multiple legs from multiple games. Most of it was like money line. A few of the legs were player props or team props. Got down to by a miracle in the Buffalo-Miami game. I had Buffalo on the money line and the over at 48.5. And so when Miami tied it up, it got me over the over, but I still had to have Buffalo win, and they ended up kicking a field goal. The only item I had left was I had New Orleans on the money line against Carolina.
Oh, no.
And for whatever inexplicable reason, they have the ball. There's less than a minute left. They're 46. It's 4th and 4. They even use their last timeout. They've got 40-some seconds left. Why in the world do you try a back shoulder pass 25 yards down the sideline instead of getting that first down so you can possibly kick a game-winning field goal?
That's how coaches get fired. Oh, he did. At least, hopefully that put a smile on your face. That's a bad beat. But if, your team that you bet on screws you, and then the head coach gets fired immediately after, you're like, yeah, that's right. That's right. You're going to learn not to screw my bets, Dennis Allen.
So that's so funny. You're right, because you always want to punish somebody when one thing goes wrong. You love the fact that coach got fired for losing the bet for you. Like last night, I had a bet where the only thing that lost was I had Pitt on the money line against Virginia. Ugh. And Pitt ends up losing the game. And so what do? I call up my buddy from Pittsburgh, and I let him have it.
You blame him because he's a Pitt fan, right?
Yes, he's a big Pitt fan, and I let him have it, calling his program a joke and saying you can't even have your own stadium, and I just let him have it because his Pitt team cost me my parlay.
I don't want to steal your thunder, but might that be mentioned in a future segment?
It might be.
Okay.
It might be. It's trash. All right, let's go out to Rob. Rob, you are on the money.
First of all, let's go Buckeyes.
Let's go, Bucks.
Second of all, I just want to say hoorah and happy birthday to all the Marines out there today.
I like it, especially with Veterans Day tomorrow. Yes, sir. Thank you for that.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you for the call.
There's no doubt about it. And actually, here at the Fan, I'm excited about this because we're doing a big event that's going to benefit veterans this week, and it's in conjunction with Brady Quinn. It's a big bourbon event that we're working with High Bank on. And so, yeah, absolutely. I am so glad that you mentioned that, and happy birthday as well.
All right, let's head back out to the phone lines and hear from Gino. Gino, welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, guys. I got a couple quick things. Number one is the Indiana-Michigan game. That was just an awful game to watch. I do believe that we will beat Michigan or Indiana and Michigan, but I think we're going to get Indiana by 14. Before I was a little bit worried. The other thing I wanted to comment about is Q. Did he beat out Henderson? Because it looks like he's our starter now, even though I thought when Henderson came in, he looked fantastic. And that's all I got. Go Bucks. And, hey, one other thing. We got a Buckeye in the White House. See you guys. Thanks.
He had to sneak that in there, didn't he? He had to sneak that in there. But listen, I agree with you on Travion. Here's the thing that I would point out. He looked better than Quinshawn. Here's what I would point out. The staff, and sometimes, as we all know, you have to take what you hear at press conferences, and even if you're talking to a coach, maybe one-on-one if it's on the record, you got to take what they know is going to be public knowledge at face value. But when they say that they feel like they have two starting running backs, they do. And I think what they're doing is they're just rotating every game. One guy has to start. They both have been playing pretty much equal. And what I also like here is both guys are on board with the plan. It'd be real easy to be like, no, I'm the running back. I want to be the guy who like totes the rock 25 times. They're like, no, I don't want to like lose my longevity in the NFL. Like, you know, they're both cool with it. They're both on board with it. I thought Travion looked great yesterday. He looked better than Quinshawn. I'm thrilled to have them both. I won't be surprised if Travion starts, this coming week at Wrigley Field. All right, let's go back out to, I love that we're getting all these calls. 614-821-9710. Let's hear from Jim. Welcome to On the Money, Jim.
Hey, guys. Great job as always. Was at the game yesterday. Great vibe with the fans. A lot of energy. I'm gonna throw this on the table though, and I didn't hear it from Saban until I read it online yesterday. I think the Buckeyes' best path is they lose to Indiana. I don't see this team beating Indiana, Michigan, and Oregon in a row. We really haven't put two great quarters together this year. I want us to win it all, but we still got a great path. We lose to Indiana. We beat Michigan. We don't play in the Big Ten championship game. We get healthy, and then we set up for a second season. I just don't see this team beating Indiana. The Michigan game is going to be a toss-up. It always is. The way they ball control, that's going to be a tough ball game. And then you got to beat Oregon. I'm just not seeing all that. But we still got that path at 10-2, probably an 8 or 10 seed. We gear up for a second season. We're healthy and we're ready to rock and roll. And Saban even brought this up. And I promise you guys, I didn't see it till late last night. So just like to hear your comment about that.
So thank you for the call, Jim. And I'll talk a little bit about Indiana because, look, throughout the entire season, they've been very impressive and they've been dominating teams. And then you watch them yesterday, and they were very good in the first half against Michigan, but kind of took a step back a little bit in that second half. And I think the vibe for me was I kind of was like, okay, this is a wait and see with Indiana because they've looked good. They've passed the eye test, but let's see how they play against a team with a little bit more talent than what they've been facing. And then they faced Michigan, and gosh, I'm honestly now more confident that Ohio State, and I think Gino brought this up, I'm more confident that Ohio State wins that game by double digits against Indiana. And that look-ahead line was Ohio State minus 10.5. I think right now, if you can still get Ohio State minus 10.5 against Indiana, I would take it because I think Ohio State's going to win that game by 2 touchdowns or more.
All right, we need to take a break, but Mark, stick on the line. We're going to get to you next. Also, if you want to call the show, 614-821-9710. This is On the Money.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Common Man and T-Bone here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Bone, did you know the sportsbook is now called ESPN Bet?
I did, and you can watch your favorite teams on the biggest screens, place your bets, and grab some wings with an ice-cold pint.
Maybe you're too boring and don't want to go to the casino. Good news. You can keep the action going and place your bets on the go with the ESPN Bet app.
The ESPN Bet Sportsbook is your 50-yard line ticket to odds, point spreads, and over-unders.
It's the place to be. Losers must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Here, Heart Care helps you heal faster. Advanced, minimally invasive procedures mean less time recovering and more living life. See how we care for all of you at MountCarmelForYou.com. Here, care is where you need it. With over 350 primary care providers in Central Ohio, expert care is minutes away. See how we care for all of you at MountCarmelForYou.com.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just a slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
Remember how that little girl in Poltergeist was in the TV?
They're here.
Yeah? Well, she's actually dead now. It's quite sad. Anyway, watch your favorite fan shows on your TV by subscribing to us on YouTube. Search 971 The Fan. Do it now.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam here for TrueHold. Home values in the city, well, they're sky high. We know that. You have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market is peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's the right time. Except for two things. High interest rates are going to burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest TrueHold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Pretty smart, right? TrueHold is going to make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others, and it's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, secure your retirement, and do whatever you want with it. It's your cash. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. TrueHold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much TrueHold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. Again, that's TrueHold.com.
Hear those leaves crunching under your feet? Feel that cool nighttime air? It's definitely fall in Ohio. Fall is the perfect time to have the Waterworks inspect and tune up your furnace before the cold winter months hit. To inspect and protect your family against those wintertime furnace breakdowns, call 614-232-2222. Or visit thewaterworks.com today to schedule your fall furnace inspection and tune-up. Winter is just days away.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Right now, for every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free. No limit, plus 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years. And they back it up with a true lifetime warranty. Call them today, 614-502-5220.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll still be dealing with scattered showers throughout this afternoon and into part of our evening, but we will see a drying trend as we head past dinner time. Temperatures will top out in the lower 60s and will still be a bit breezy. Winds will be out of the south around 12 to 18 miles per hour, gusting up to 25 or 30 at times. Tonight, as I had mentioned, we dry out and we start to clear out with lows falling to the mid-40s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm meteorologist Erica Colora.
Dave Biddle was caught trying to bet on office ping pong matchups. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by ESPN Bet, the official sports book of ESPN. What a play.
The Buckeyes will be in Wrigley Field in 6 days. That'll be kind of fun. A noon game against Northwestern. Ohio State is a 31.5-point favorite over Northwestern on Saturday. So the early betting lines are coming out for this next weekend's games. And there are updated odds to win the national championship. Ohio State is still the favorite. They are plus 325 in the ESPN Bet app. We do our betting at Hollywood Casino Columbus and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. So Ohio State favorite plus 325. Oregon second, plus 360. You got Texas plus 475. Then a drop off. Texas plus 475. Then it's Georgia 8-1, Bama 10-1, Ole Miss 10-1. And we love hearing from you, our friends here on the Money. And we're going to go out to the phone lines now and talk to Mark. Mark, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good,
man.
Mark.
Hey, so I'm a transplant here in Tennessee from Ohio. Been here for about 9 years, so constantly always hearing about SEC, blah, 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 Tennessee football. And I hate that we're nitpicking here, but it seems like Howard's deep ball is just constantly off, and he's missing it. Do you think it's just he's not used to the athletes that he's got? I mean, he's practiced with them quite a bit now. You know, that wheel route, especially to Henderson down the right side. If that's out in front of him, Henderson's catching that ball, and that's a touchdown. So I guess it seems like there's throws like that every game. So I'm just concerned about it and wonder what you guys think about it.
It's a concern of mine as well. You know, I think, he says he can do it, and he's shown it here and there in games, not very often. He did early against Nebraska, then they went away from it. But you're right. Even when he's completed some deep balls this year, the receiver, they said one yesterday, it was a little underthrown. It was like the receiver had to come to a complete stop to wait for the ball. That's not a little underthrown. It is a concern. I like Will Howard, and him adding the QB run has been huge. I love his leadership. I like his accuracy with the intermediate passes, but yes, Mark, it is a concern.
Absolutely a concern. Yeah, that ball to Tate, Tate absolutely would have had a touchdoon.
Yes, that's
it was
a little underthrown.
He had to stop and adjust. It's actually almost every week. It is. Of course, it is nitpicking a little bit, but of course, we are going to nitpick when we think this is a national championship team. All right, let's go back out to the phone lines and talk to Harry. Harry, welcome to On the Money.
Good morning, fellas. How you doing?
Good, Harry.
Good, Harry.
I wanted to bounce a couple things off you, but first I'd like to say thank you to all the veterans that have served and families for allowing us to enjoy these freedoms that we do have here in the States. Just thank you very much. And then I got a couple questions for you. The first one is about, I'm a big Browns fan, big Bucks fan, big Guardians fan. But when it comes to the Browns, man, I mean, we've over the years had so many issues. I mean, since we've been back, and it's always been about the quarterback play, but today we have no Browns football. So what do we do? And then the second thing I wanted to bring on you guys is, I heard you earlier mention something about OSU basketball and how you got the fever right now to get back, get the guys back on the court. So, even after Deeps took over last year and everything, got going with the flow, this year it looks like they're off to a pretty good start. Where do you think they're headed? For this year, what kind of outcome we're going to have with them? And then I just wanted to say, thanks to both of you guys for helping me keep my paper up. Your best bets are working, so thank you so much.
I will say, I'll let Scotty talk about basketball. I'm excited about the Ohio State basketball team too, but that's his bag, so I'll let him talk about that. As far as what to do today, when you're a Browns fan, there's no Browns game on. There's no Bengals game on either. I'm a Bengals fan. I'm into fantasy football. I don't know if you are, so I'm really into my fantasy teams today. And you mentioned this. I mean, betting on the NFL today. And sometimes it can be a little, the stress is off. You don't have to worry about watching your team. And if you're a Bengals fan or a Browns fan, there's a good chance things are going to go wrong. So take the stress off, just make some sports bets and enjoy your Sunday.
That's good advice from you, Dave, on the money, that we want you to bet more. Let's go. NFL betting, absolutely. Yeah, your team might not be playing, but enjoy the action today.
As a Browns fan, I'll actually enjoy football today.
Yeah, there you go. Right. There you go. And Harry, thank you so much for the call. I'll talk quickly about Ohio State basketball. Guys, this is a fantastic backcourt, right? Watching them against Texas and Bruce Thornton down the stretch. I'm so used to, I have PTSD of watching Ohio State hoops late in games struggle and not put teams away. But they were able to put the game away on Monday against Texas away with Bruce, his leadership, his getting to the basket down the stretch. I love the backcourt. That's what I'm most excited about, and how deep this Ohio State hoops team. There's a lot of things to be excited about. Can't wait for that game tomorrow night against Youngstown State. Let's go back out to the phone lines and talk to Andrew. Andrew, you're on the money.
Hey, fellas, how's it going?
Good, Andrew.
Wanted to talk about that Ohio State game yesterday. That was a pretty good score, I'm not going to lie. But like you said, there could have been a couple more touchdowns. And another thing, I'm in this, college pool, and yesterday was a day of upsets for me. It's kind of sad, to be honest. Miami lost to Georgia Tech. Ole Miss lost to Georgia. Or Georgia lost to Ole Miss. Is there anything I could have done better?
Not really. I'm trying to think. I mean, even I don't know how you guys feel about, some people were hoping Michigan would beat Indiana. Now, if you're a Buckeye fan, I don't know how you root for Michigan. You'll have to explain that. I never can do it. I've even tried, not really, I haven't really tried that hard, but I know some Buckeye fans were rooting for Michigan. I think maybe that worked out perfectly, though. For Buckeye fans who are thinking, oh, geez, should I be worried about Indiana? Indiana still beat Michigan, but Indiana looked pedestrian doing it, at least in the second half. In the first half, their offense looked great. Then Cignetti went into conservative mode, and then Michigan made it interesting.
So thanks for the call. I want to bring up a couple things about how you can do a little bit better with sports betting. And one of the things that I don't think that a lot of people realize is that you can adjust and move lines one way or the other. So I'll give you an example for the Ohio State game yesterday. So the line was Ohio State minus 37.5. Some places had it minus 38. And I honestly felt like this was an opportunity. It was going to be, Ohio State was going to put up a lot of points. I thought this was an opportunity to move that line even higher, right? Get even more value on it. So I moved it to Ohio State minus 41.5. And so I was able to get Ohio State plus 110 on the value of moving it a couple points. Now, on some of these games, you might want to move it the other way. So let's say you're watching the Georgia Ole Miss game and you could move the line. Maybe that you thought Ole Miss was going to lose the game or keep it close. You could move it to, instead of Ole Miss being a 2-point underdog, move it to Ole Miss plus 7.5. Now, Ole Miss ended up dominating the game, but the point is you can move lines, adjust things around, and that gives you a little bit more value or a little bit more wiggle room in this betting.
Or you can move Ohio State. Purdue's over under to 46.5, and Ohio State pitches the shutout, and
there you go.
You come up just short.
That's true.
That happens as well.
And one thing that I'll point out as far as gambling advice, and I need to live by my own advice here, go with what you know. I have a much higher hit rate when I am betting on things that I know really well, as opposed to just, I want some action on this game. And it's fun. A lot of times I'm just betting like $5, $10, $20, so I'm betting low amounts. But so if you're just having fun, that's one thing. But if you're really concerned about, even if you're making small bets and you only want to bet on things that you have a really good chance of winning, nothing's a sure thing. But I have found, go with what you know. If you, let's say there's a small school college basketball team that you follow. Yeah, for example, Wright State's a good example for me. like, you probably know a lot more about that team as long as you know what you're doing with sports than the odds makers do or the public does. So go with what you know.
That's a great call. And you took advantage last year, I remember, during the Wright State's basketball season because you follow them closely.
And Olympic basketball. I love Olympic basketball. And there was a lot of like weird stuff with Olympic basketball this last. So whatever you follow real close, have confidence in yourself. If you are a diehard of that team or that sport or whatever it might be, Scotty is like this with golf. Scotty's like this with a lot of stuff. Go with what you know.
And we're going to do trash next, but I'm going to update this NFL game for you. So right now we are midway through the second quarter, and the Carolina Panthers, who are a 6-point underdog, are actually up 10-0 on the Giants. Giants have the ball, moving it a little bit. All right, when we come back, we are going to do That's Trash. This is On the Money.
Here's a listener tweet. Are men and Bone stupid in real life? Yes. Yes, they are. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Bone, did you know the sportsbook is now called ESPN Bet?
I did, and you can watch your favorite teams on the biggest screens, place your bets, and grab some wings with an ice-cold pint.
Maybe you're too boring and don't want to go to the casino. Good news. You can keep the action going and place your bets on the go with the ESPN Bet app.
The ESPN Bet Sportsbook is your 50-yard line ticket to odds, point spreads, and over-unders.
It's the place to be. Losers must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
All right. Protect yourself, Ohio. Get your shots for COVID and flu today. A message from the Ohio Departments of Health and Aging.
Bring the thrill of the stadium to your wallet with the Love My Crew checking account from Pathways, the only checking account that rewards you for being a Crew fan. Pathways Financial Credit Union, your true financial partner. Federally insured by NCUA.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you miss a little, you'll miss a lot. Search for your favorite fan shows wherever you get your podcasts and subscribe. Every episode comes right to your phone absolutely free. Modern technology, it's a hell of a thing. Do it now. The Fan.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and a multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I cannot imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. We often hear businesses say that they are, quote, family owned and operated, which leads you to think, how often are the owners of the company involved in day-to-day operations? Well, when it comes to Newman Roofing, I can personally tell you that I met with Tim. I met with his daughters. They have 4 family members of Newman Roofing overseeing the different divisions of the company, ensuring that an excellent customer service experience is going to be provided to you every time. Folks, I can personally testify they were great with my wife and I, and they will do the same for you. With Newman Roofing, Their family focuses on every detail, and it allows them to deliver that white glove experience, not just for me, but for everyone, that you're not going to get with those larger corporations. 32 years in business, 3 generations in the roofing industry. They can do it all, and they will take care of you. So before those winter storms hit, have Newman Roofing come out and take a look. Whether it's a repair or replacement, Newman has you covered at 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
Gambling too much? Or just can't seem to cut your losses? I'm Abdullah Mahmood, pub and gambling counselor at Maryhaven. Whether it's you or someone you love, we're here to help you control gambling before it controls you. With in-person, virtual, and group options, Maryhaven is here for you no matter what. And that's a bet you can actually count on this football season. Confidential and judgment-free, go to maryhaven.com today. That's maryhaven.com.
Your morning just got beefier. Morning Juice with Beamer, Bobby, and Shark.
Weekdays from 6 to 9.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Scotty Vegas has his own cot in the casino. You're listening to On the Money.
Presented by ESPN Bet, the official sports book of ESPN. What a play.
Welcome back to On the Money. Dave Biddle, Scotty Vegas, Ryan Baker. All right, right about now, it is time for That's Trash. Diamond Sports Group, you're up first. You're trash. You know about what this is, right? The regional sports. They're now that they went bankrupt. Now all these baseball teams are like without a TV home, including my Cincinnati Reds. We finally get Tito Francona. Now we have to deal with this absolute trash company, Diamond Sports Group. I think I said it all right there. Diamond Sports Group, you're trash.
Take out the trash.
Maybe you guys will have an answer for this for me, but I don't get why in football we cannot extend these goalposts to go a little bit higher. Because now in the last 3 weeks, I have seen 3 times where I'm watching a field goal kick and I'm like, I don't really know if that was in or out. And the officials are just like looking up and it's like, well, the ball looked like it went directly over the post, but it could have been, if the posts were even higher, it could have hit the post and not gone in. But there's just been like 3 instances in the last 3 weeks where I'm like, why can we not just go 6 feet or 8 feet higher with these goalposts so that there's no debate whether that ball was in or out? I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I think it's trash that we can't have taller goalposts.
Before we go to Ryan, it reminds me, Ryan, of those high school baseball fields that have like the foul pole, but it's like barely higher than the fence itself. Why even have it?
Listen, if we had higher goalposts, people would be climbing them higher, and we'd have people falling from higher up. So we can't have them too high because people. I don't know. I'm just telling you.
It's stupid.
Ryan's trying to prevent deaths.
I mean, if you want to talk about high schools, the high school goalposts aren't really high at all.
No.
And, those refs aren't as good as the ones we get in these college and NFL games. So
I know. And how well can a ref see if the ball is like 30 feet above their head, whether it was inside or outside the goalpost by inches?
Right. And how would you determine if it hit the goalpost? If it was extended up, maybe it would have like stoinked right off of it. Maybe it would have bounced in. It is one of the weirdest things.
Dumb.
All right, guys. And again, listen, Ohio State played pretty good yesterday, 45-0 win. There's not a lot that you can complain about, but we're grading this team on a national championship level. And Travion Henderson yesterday only getting 6 carries to me was trash. I know there's a lot of mouths to feed, but you saw early on that he had something in this game, something special. Purdue was not going to be able to stop him. 14.2 yards a carry, and he only gets 6 carries. I don't know what you guys think personally. I don't love these designed runs with Will Howard. I'd rather just see him running the ball when a play breaks down or something. I don't need to see him get 6 or 8 designed runs for him every game. If the pocket breaks down and he goes, that's fine. Travion just seemed to have a little extra juice yesterday, and I wanted to see him get more than 6 carries.
That's why I don't read the newspaper, because it's garbage. And the editor that let it come out is garbage.
I just thought of one on the fly thanks to our now 57-year-old Mike Gundy, who's having a terrible year and decides to go off on the Oklahoma State fans, making fun of his own fans, saying the people that complain are the same people that can't even pay their own bills. Oh, what a jerk. You're making like $7+ million a year. The good teams left your conference and you got worse. You were supposed to be like, of this, misfit conference, you were supposed to be maybe, the best brand name in it. And here you are having a terrible year, Mike Gundy, and now you're turning on the fans. Then he did the worst apology you can do. He came the next day, didn't want to apologize, obviously was forced to, and said, I'd just like to say if anybody was offended by my remarks, I apologize. That's not an apology. And for you to be coming out there and like ripping on your own fans. And by the way, Oklahoma State's not having like, they should be a little better. They are absolute trash, and their head coach is trash.
So I'm okay with noon football games, but we are now on a long streak of noon Ohio State football games. And I do love Gus Johnson, but a little Gus Johnson goes a long way.
Like, Brian's going to like this.
At this point, I wouldn't mind a week or two break from Gus and Joel.
Brian wants a 2-year break from Gus.
Hey,
and again,
Gus wants a break too because he was not very enthusiastic on that Jack Sawyer touchdown.
He certainly was not. He certainly wasn't. And again, I generally love Gus, and I just don't necessarily need Gus during an Ohio State-Purdue game. I need a Gus during Ohio State-Penn State. I need Gus, Ohio State, Michigan, Big Ten championship, although the Big Ten championship's on CBS this year. But anyway, a big-time game, I'm good with Gus. But a little bit too much with Gus doing OSU Purdue. And guys, I'm really kind of tired of all these noon kicks. I like when we mix it up a little bit more. I know Nebraska was noon, Penn State noon, Purdue noon. Next week against Northwestern's noon. I'm hearing a decent chance Indiana's going to be noon.
Indiana will be
Michigan.
3:30.
There's some people who think it's going to be
Steve
noon.
Hellwagon will have to crack some skulls.
I know, but there are whispers that that's going to be noon as well. So I'm just so tired. Are we going to have 6 straight noon games? That would be trash.
When I'm dead, just throw me in the trash.
Scotty, I've been telling you, he's great in big moments, but other than that, I can do without him. I got to give this trash to myself, guys. I was a Daniel Jones, I don't know if believer, but I thought Daniel Jones was okay, and I thought it was more the Giants and their ineptness than Daniel Jones. But I am being proven wrong. In this game today, the Giants are getting dominated by the Panthers right now. They just showed some highlights of the all-22, and Daniel Jones has guys wide open, and he's not seeing them or he's missing them. I don't know what it is. It kind of reminds me of Kyle McCord a little bit last year, where he just didn't quite see it or he didn't trust it. I don't know what it is, but Daniel Jones, he's never going to make it with the Giants. If he's going to make it anywhere, he's got to get out of there. They need a split, and I am trash for thinking that Daniel Jones was going to be good.
It's funny. Are we still doing the thing where we're comparing Will Howard's passing stats with Kyle McCord's? I don't think McCord fans want to do that now. Early in the year, see, look at the stats. It's okay, let's see what comes out in the wash. Let's see if he throws 19 interceptions against Pitt.
Yeah. The funny thing with Will Howard, and I know we've criticized a little bit on the deep ball, and I think that's fair. And Ryan talking a little bit about the designed runs with Will Howard. I really, really like Will Howard. I really do. And, looking at his numbers yesterday, very solid. Again, it's against Purdue. But I think one of the questions we had coming into this year was, could Ohio State win a national championship with Will Howard as the quarterback? And I absolutely do believe they can win it with Will.
We do have a question from X. They're asking us, should C.J. Hicks move to defensive end? I understand the question, and I've heard other Buckeye fans ask this, especially after yesterday. C.J. finally gets some extended playing time, especially early, and it's I love C.J. personally, but this is why you're not playing a lot. There's a couple instances see, this is why you're not playing a lot. Should he move to defensive end? Well, here's the thing. Let's say he does. Okay, is he playing over Caden Curry, who probably doesn't even play enough as a backup? No. Is he playing over Kenyatta Jackson, who probably doesn't play enough as a backup? No. Is he playing over Mitchell Melton? Maybe. Probably not, though. So you could move him to defensive end. Is he really going to have any playing time at defensive end? But to his point, he doesn't seem like a linebacker. He seems more like a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah.
Which would be better suited for defensive end.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah.
He missed a lot of tackles yesterday, and if I was him, I would look at Baron Browning, and I would say, move me there, even if I don't play a lot. Get there, get used to it, get your body bigger and your size, because that's where your future is in the pros.
Jonathan Cooper, did you guys see he just signed a massive contract? Jonathan Cooper was a heck of a leader here. I think he was the first one to wear the block O, the number 0, and I think he was a 7th-round pick. I'm just like, man, make a roster, get yourself an NFL career. Love that kid. Everybody loves him. Makes the team. Oh, by the way, now he just signed a huge, $40 million deal, something like that. So good for Jonathan Cooper. Yeah, Baron Browning's a great example with C.J. Hicks or Baron Browning.
So did it surprise you guys?
Or Jonathan Cooper.
Did it surprise you guys a little bit on this spread against Northwestern? So it's Ohio State minus 31.5. They were a 38-point favorite against Purdue. Now, of course, that was a home game. I feel like at Wrigley Field, don't you think the stands are probably going to be about, 75% Ohio State fans? I feel like Buckeye fans are going to absolutely take over Wrigley Field. I think the 31.5 might be a little low. I consider Nebraska, or I'm sorry, I consider Northwestern and Purdue pretty much equal as far as teams. When they played, they went in overtime. I'm surprised that spread isn't closer to 35.
Yeah, you nailed it. I mean, when you said they were pretty much equal, they definitely looked like it. I know it was one game, but Purdue beat Northwestern 26-20, but Northwestern finds a way to muddy things up. They're a little step up from Purdue. I mean, Northwestern's 4-5. But I hear you. I might stay away from it, but if I had to bet, I think Ohio State will cover that spread. It feels like about a 34-point Ohio State win to me.
Here's the thing. Our buddy Anthony Rothman always says, Vegas doesn't tell you what's going to happen. They just tell you that something's going to happen. And on that lake in Chicago, the weather can be crazy. We saw it a few years ago with the 30-mile-an-hour, 40-mile-an-hour gusty winds. Something will happen. That's what Vegas is telling you.
I just think I'm finally going to see an Ohio team beat a Chicago team inside Wrigley Field. So I've seen the Reds play the Cubs at least 3 times there, 0-3. It might be 4 times 0-4. So now the Buckeyes are going to win a game in Wrigley Field. We're going to talk more about that Ohio State Northwestern game and more up next on The Money.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Common Man and T-Bone here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Bone, did you know the sportsbook is now called ESPN Bet?
I did, and you can watch your favorite teams on the biggest screens, place your bets, and grab some wings with an ice-cold pint.
Maybe you're too boring and don't want to go to the casino. Good news. You can keep the action going and place your bets on the go with the ESPN Bet app.
The ESPN Bet Sportsbook is your 50-yard line ticket to odds, point spreads, and over-unders.
It's the place to be. Losers must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Now, in our last session, you said you were hearing noises.
Terrible noises.
Tell me more.
Same time every morning.
Mm-hmm. Can you describe them?
Well, it starts like yee and then turns into woo, woo, woo.
Indeed. And does it also come with a
That's exactly what it is. How did you know, Doctor?
This is a symptom of not having an Apex Pros water heater.
Doctor, I know my husband, and he would never.
And the sound then goes yip, yip, woo, woo, woo. I'm writing you a prescription for an Apex Pros water heater.
You really think this will help?
Apex Pros, the pros who knows. First you doubt me, then you doubt the pros who knows.
I'm not doubting. I just didn't think my husband would make such
the unnecessary suffering of surprise cold water. I've seen it 1,000 times. Apex Pros even has tankless solutions that provide never-ending warm water.
Wow.
The crazy sounds will go away by tomorrow. Now here's my bill. Now about that sound.
It's Alex the Apex Bear. We are the pros who knows. The official plumber of the Columbus Blue Jackets. ApexPros.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Is your business generating over $1 million a year in revenue? If your financial advisory team isn't keeping pace, maybe it's time for a change. Here's Brad Hennebert with Premier Advisors.
Thanks, Bobby. Our team integrates financial planning and asset management with business accounting and tax preparation. Business owners have planning needs that are unique. We work with you to design a seamless financial services bundle tailored to your business with monthly or quarterly advisory consultations to help guide you along the way. We don't just keep score of what happened last year. Our team combines expert financial planning and wealth management with top-tier tax services, helping businesses like yours build wealth for you. Call us today at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Brad Hennebert is a registered representative offering securities through United Planners Financial Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through TCP Asset Management LLC. Tax services offered through Premier Tax CPAs. United Planners is not affiliated with TCP Asset Management, Premier Advisors, or Premier Tax CPAs.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on the fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and the Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
When an orthopedic injury or condition gets in the way of life, there is nothing more important than finding a physician you can trust. At Orthopedic One, you'll find Central Ohio's most trusted team of orthopedic experts, ready to listen to your concerns and work with you toward the best possible outcome. In fact, more people trust Orthopedic One than any other practice in Central Ohio. Start with the specialists. Start with orthopedic1.com.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage. Regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just a slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Hear those leaves crunching under your feet? Feel that cool nighttime air? It's definitely fall in Ohio. Fall is the perfect time to have the Waterworks inspect and tune up your furnace before the cold winter months hit. To inspect and protect your family against those wintertime furnace breakdowns, call 614-232-2222. Or visit thewaterworks.com today to schedule your fall furnace inspection and tune-up. Winter is just days away.
Enjoy all the football this weekend, but remember to join us for Reaction Monday.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan. Gabe Biddle and Scotty Vegas both think they're right. Chances are they're both wrong. On the Money presents Best Bets.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. If you need a driveway, garage, patio, even an in-ground pool, Maxima Concrete are the guys to call. Schedule a free estimate today at maximaconcrete.com.
So we've got some betting lines out for next weekend's college football games. Ohio State, of course, at 31.5-point favorite at Wrigley Field at Northwestern. And so that's one of the games on the board. A couple other big games in college football next weekend. Georgia coming off the big loss yesterday to Ole Miss. Georgia is a 10.5-point home favorite over Tennessee. To me, that seems like a few too many points, but right away, Georgia, 10.5-point favorite over Tennessee. Some of the other big college football games next weekend. Colorado, right back in the running for the Big 12 championship. They are a 10.5-point favorite at home against Utah next weekend. Clemson, a 10.5-point favorite at Pitt. And Texas is a 16.5-point favorite at Arkansas. I'll get your guys' opinion on some of those lines out there. But to me, looking at the Georgia-Tennessee matchup, I'm kind of surprised because that Georgia offense, very dicey, kind of struggled all year, and then last night got beat pretty good by Ole Miss. I'm kind of surprised that Tennessee is getting 10.5, Dave.
Yeah, I am as well. It's just going to be a good game, but yeah, I'm with you on that one. By the way, let's update the game in Germany. I almost said London. The Panthers have a 10-0 lead over the Giants. These poor people in Germany, I mean, they really love NFL football, and this is the game we give them. It was kind of, now it's caught on a little bit in England, but it was almost felt like it was forced with all the games in like London and just different places in England. Germany loves NFL football. Like, they love it. Like, when I went there for the first time a couple years ago, like, people were going crazy. And maybe they have 2 games this year, but this is a game we give them 2-7 against 2-7.
Gross.
You can't flex out of that.
We did our trash segment last segment, and actually Ryan brought up Daniel Jones. And Daniel Jones has had an absolutely trash first half. In fact, he's 5 for 14 with a pick, including one of his interceptions. He threw off a defensive lineman's noggin, ricocheted in the air, and got intercepted. So that was an ugly trash moment for Daniel Jones. As far as future bets go, we talked about Ohio State is the betting favorite to win the national championship. One of the things that I found interesting is there's conference championship odds out there, and you brought this number up earlier in the show, and I'm on board with you on this. So the ACC, right now Miami struggles. Obviously, they lose yesterday to Georgia Tech, but throughout the entire year, they've been struggling. You've got Clemson at plus 210 to win the conference. But how about this? SMU plus 225. Right now, they're undefeated in the ACC. There's a great chance that they finish undefeated in the regular season in the ACC, get to the title game. And so I think at plus 225, they'd play either Miami or Clemson. That's actually pretty good value right now for SMU.
It is funny, like of all the teams that have switched conferences, everything's weird. That's the one that I keep now it's finally ingrained.
Yeah.
But it took till 2 weeks ago that I'm like, finally, because every time I saw it, I'd be like, oh yeah, SMU's in the ACC. Like what? And then I'd forget. I think 2 weeks ago it's finally been ingrained, but it's still weird. Of all of the stuff that's happened, SMU in the Atlantic Coastal Conference.
Weird. And Stanford and Cal.
Small school in Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right. I think Stanford and Cal's even weirder because at least they're on a coast. They're not on the Atlantic coast, but at least there's a coast involved.
Look out for SMU because they've got a lot of money, unlimited funds.
They've proved they will use that money and to beef up their football program, and now it's legal, baby. They got all that oil money down there. You can't give us the death penalty this time. Okay, Eric Dickerson's walking through that door. Craig James is walking through that door. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Buckeyes in a great spot. Buckeyes have the #1 odds to win the national championship. And those are your real rankings. So I love where Ohio State's at. We'll see if they can take care of business at Wrigley Field in Northwestern next Saturday. All right, that is our show for today. Thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thanks for all the calls. Really appreciate you guys. For Scotty Vegas and Ryan Baker, I am Dave Biddle. Don't go anywhere. Up next is Fan Sports Sunday with our friends Tito and Dane Sanzenbacher. This has been On the Money.
We are your radio home for the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. We may have a bit of a football problem. Oh, yeah. The Fan Ohio sports destination.
Common Man and T-Bone here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Bone, did you know the sportsbook is now called ESPN Bet?
I did, and you can watch your favorite teams on the biggest screens, place your bets, and grab some wings with an ice-cold pint.
Maybe you're too boring and don't want to go to the casino. Good news. You can keep the action going and place your bets on the go with the ESPN Bet app.
The ESPN Bet Sportsbook is your 50-yard line ticket to odds, point spreads, and over-unders.
It's the place to be. Losers must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Mommy, want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey friends, Brandon Beam here for Truehold. Home values in the city, well, they're sky high. We know that. You have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market is peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's the right time. Except for 2 things. High interest rates are going to burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Pretty smart, right? Truehold is going to make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others, and it's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, secure your retirement, and do whatever you want with it. It's your cash. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. Again, that's Truehold.com.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and a multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042.